Hello, and welcome to Action News at 11 with Mitchell Haug. Tonight we have a story that could scare and shock you, and it may be going on inside of your body right now. Recent studies have suggested that problems with a cell's cytoskeleton can have devastating effects on a person. The cytoskeleton is a part of the cell that spreads throughout it with a series of microtubules and filaments. It gives animal cells much of their shape, and also aids in transportation of materials within the cell. In addition, the cytoskeleton plays a very key role in cell division. It is an extremely important part of the cell. Without it, our cells wouldn't have structure, and many of the raw materials our body needs could not be moved to where they are needed. Without cytoskeletons, life, as we know it, may not exist today. Because the cytoskeleton is a very important element of a cell, problems with it can have a huge effect on a human being. Many people know that as a person grows older, they can develop Alzheimer's disease, a disease that causes the deterioration of the brain and its function. What most people don't know, however, is that Alzheimer's is actually caused by problems with the cytoskeleton. When a person has Alzheimer's disease, the cytoskeleton in nerve cells is slowly destroyed. This is especially bad because nerve cells use their cytoskeleton not only for structure and transportation, but also to communicate with other nerve cells, meaning that if the cytoskeleton disintegrates, like in Alzheimer's, the nerve cells become useless. When this happens in the brain, it causes it to shrink, and some parts to break down. In the neuron, part of the cytoskeleton known as tau is chemically changed, causing it to form clumps instead of binding to the cytoskeleton, which destroys the transport system inside of the cell. This causes a buildup of certain chemicals, particularly amyloid beta, creating the brain malfunction commonly associated with the disease. Despite the fact that all of this happens on a very small scale, Alzheimer's is often easily diagnosed by relatives of the victim or their doctor in later stages. A fight with Alzheimer's can be a long battle, but unfortunately, the fight always ends in death, usually around 7 years after the disease begins. Despite this, there are certain treatments that can slow the progress of Alzheimer's disease, as well as assist those who are afflicted by it. These include certain pharmaceuticals, as well as sensory therapy, and, when necessary, simply taking care of the afflicted. As you can see, the cytoskeleton is very important, and when it fails, can cause a horrible and tragic disease that unfortunately affects much of our elderly population today. Thank you, and good night.